Hello and welcome back to Agrabah. I'm Professor Toybox. I've got Princess Jasmine with me, and today we're going to wrap up the build exercise for this toy box by filling in the gaps and adding some finishing touches. This episode will be a little bit longer than some of the previous videos because I'm eager to finish the build and move on to the interactive parts of this toy box. So let's get started. And we'll begin over here behind the marketplace that we built 2 videos ago. The palace is over there, and we're going to start down here on this side of the market. And we're going to begin by dropping this massive 4x8 citadel piece with the door on this side. And for these areas that we're going to build today, it's important to point out again that I don't have any screenshots, and so I have to use my imagination to fill in these areas and try to make this look interesting and fit together with the other areas of the toy box that we've already built. So that's what I'm going to do today. And a little planking up here to kind of justify that door being there. And just like that. Now in front of this, we're going to put down one of the 3x6 citadels, so this one. And I want to put this so that the door is facing out. We're going to tuck that right in this corner. Put another one on top with the window this time on the outside, like that. And then I'm going to grab some stairs. We're going to put the stairs right out here on the front corner of this, just like that, with another one up here, and I'll put the base down for that in just a moment. And I want that to wrap around a building. So we're going to put this one out here like this, and I want to turn this so that the windows are facing out just like that. Yeah. And then we'll put another one up here like this. And to cover up that door, I'm going to add in the balcony like that. And put a planking balcony on the other side like that. And then underneath those stairs, we need some blocks. So I'm going to grab this one and put this right under here like that. And we only need one here like this. We can leave a little hole down there because that's going to be covered up. And, well, actually not quite covered up. So yeah, we should put a second one under there like that. All right, then back up to building sets group 6. And we're going to scroll over and pick up this 2x3 right here. And I want to put this one so that the door is on this side, like that. And then we'll grab another 4x8 and drop this right down here, like this. And I want to put it with the windows facing this direction on the right there, which means the door is on that side. And for something kind of fun, we're going to put an archway up here and a little section of wall over here. I think that would be kind of cool. And then we'll add a couple of little buildings up on top. So then the staircase there gives you a purpose because you're coming up to those homes, you're coming over to these homes. So that looks pretty good. Now over here, I'm going to grab this 3x3 and pick it up and put it back down. And I want to put this such that, let's see, which way do we want to do this? I want to have the 2 blank sides over here. So we're going to put them out like that. I'm going to put 2 of them here. That creates a little alleyway there. And that'll be good because I want to put a little marketplace back in here. And so we're going to come down. Well, first let's stick up here to the building sets group 6, and I want to pick up one of these market stalls. This canopy. We're going to put this right over here on the corner of this building, just like that. And you can line the rest of this with market stalls if you want, but if you have the Sands of Time power disc, I'm going to put down some of these little peddlers stalls. And I've already added that power disc to my base, which means I can come over here and style that right away. And go ahead and put down a couple of these strips as well. Fit that one right in there. And those are pots. And for something a little different, we'll put the other one on the other side. And these would be rugs. Yeah, so those are some rug displays. Okay. And then we'll come back up to building sets group 6, over to the stairs. We're going to put some stairs over here. Oops, a little too far down. And let's slide these all the way over, actually. I think that would look a little better. And then underneath that, let's see, we can use this smaller wall section over here, like that. That'll look better than a bunch of blocks. But over here, we got to have some blocks. So we'll put this one out like that, with another small one right there. And I think, you know what, let's swap that around. And the reason is because this small one's going to be covered up by some market stalls here. I think that would be better. This is right off of the marketplace on the other side of the archway. And so having some additional stalls over here kind of continues the market over in this direction, which I think is a good thing. And so this will cover up that. We can put another one of these canopies here like that, which will cover up that door. And then just for a little finishing decoration on the end, we'll put some pots. And I think I'll actually turn that like that. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So now we filled in that side of the street there. And so now when you're going up to Aladdin's loft, there's some buildings over here on this side of the street. And that looks a little bit more finished. A little bit more like what we saw in the movie screenshots there. All right, I'm going to pick this piece up and put it down. And we're going to use this as a spacer because the alley over here, this road needs to be 3 blocks wide. And so I'm going to put that there and then come back over here and pick up one of these massive citadels. And we're going to put this, let's see, with the windows on the outside like that. And then we'll put a 3x3 over here like that. And probably want to make sure we either cover up that door or don't cover up the door. And I think I will cover it up. So we'll make it like that. That lines up the edge of that building with the other buildings on that street. And we can go ahead and take that back out. And over here we're going to put down another archway. And I'm going to turn this, I think, so that the let's see, would we want the decoration on the outside? No, let's put it on this side. You'd probably want it on the outside, but most players are going to be on the inside. So I think that would work best. And then we're going to put down another citadel over here. And this is kind of blocking in the edge of town over on this side. And since my memory is a little bit over half full, and I want to make sure that I save enough space for the rest of the toy box, we're not going to make this side too complicated over here. And so we'll put this down. Let's see. That should be fine. Go ahead and put it down like this with the door up there. And then that door will be sitting there like that. And then we'll line up a 3x6 over here with the door facing that way. And then I want to add in some stairs. And that'll allow you to get up there. So now that's blocking in this end of town, and that's looking pretty good. Let's keep building around this direction. I'm going to come back up to building sets group 6, and we're going to put down another one of these 3x6s. And we'll put this one with the window out so that it's not so repetitive on this end. And I want to place this one so that it's about 1 block over, about like that. Yeah. And then we'll pick this one up and put in a couple of these stacked up like that. And I'm going to put one over here on the corner of that building like so. And we'll do another archway. And I want to line it up so that it's flush with the back side of that building like that. And we'll put one over here. And for a little finishing decoration, I'm going to put the dome up on top of one of these. Probably this one would make the most sense, since that's the archway. Now for this side, we'll go ahead and put down a row of 3 of these, and we'll start on the corner over here. And I'm actually going to line this up so it's sticking off the edge there a little bit. We'll put a door over on this side, some windows this way, and that way this third building comes flush with the edge of that and doesn't cover up the arch. So that's why I had this one hanging off the end over there. And then we'll put some stairs in. And some planking so that we can get up over to that door. Like that. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so next, let's kind of work on this little area back here. And what we're going to do is pick up another one of these massive citadels. And I want to drop this one right on the end of this, lined up flush with the edge of that. And we'll put this one in here so the windows are on this side. And what I need to do is I'm covering up that archway there that doesn't go anywhere. That's partly what I'm doing. So I want to put another building over here, like that. And we'll put 2 little ones over on the edge edge of this, getting all tongue-tied like that. And then to be able to get to those doors, we'll drop down an archway right here like that. Now inside here, we can set up another little marketplace. And we've got this building that's overhanging. Let's deal with that first, because we left that overhanging a long time back and it's been sitting there for a while. So we need something to put under that by way of foundation. And I think, yeah, we'll use that one and tuck one of these in there like that. So now that connects that door up there above that piece we just dropped. And this building is no longer floating in space. That's really good. But we have all of those doors floating in space. So let's put down some planking up here. And yeah, like that. So that looks pretty good. And we'll put one more of these 3x3s over here. And let's turn it so that the door is like that. Okay, and then we'll grab a couple of little blocks and tuck them under those stairs. And now we got kind of a nice, neat little alleyway down there with some awnings over top of those doors. And we can go ahead and fit some market stalls under here. So we'll put this one in here, and I'm going to use, put it right here in the corner as close as I can get. We'll add a couple of pots here between these doors, and we'll put the big one in the back. And then we can add a market canopy up here. So we have kind of a little hidden market tucked up over here. And I really like that. That's kind of cool looking. It's a neat little hidden marketplace. That's what it kind of feels like to me. And then out here we're going to need a few more market stalls to kind of fill this empty space in. So we'll put one over here and over on this wall. Let's see, I'm just trying to find my screen grab here. We'll use this smaller one. And we'll tuck this right back there like that. And for the middle of the square, I'm going to put a sidekick well in here. And it reset this drawer on me. Sorry about that. Going to have to scroll over to the left to find that. There's two sidekick wells in this toy box that I put in here. So we'll go ahead and put both of them in now. And that way I don't have to worry about it resetting this drawer again on me. And I'm going to put one in over here about like that. And the other one, we'll center it so that it's kind of in the middle of the square here. So about like that. And the other one, we're going to place over on the opposite corner of the city. Right out over here. And I want to center it about on that road. And about like that. Then we'll get back over here where we were working. So that's looking pretty good. This area is a little empty over here, but we'll be building something in there later. If you remember, that's where the monkeys escaped from. Okay, so this is looking really good. The last little section of buildings that we need to fill in are over here. And so for this end of the town, I'm just scrolling over to grab my screenshots here. We'll come back down to building sets group 6. All right. I'll reset that drawer on me. So we'll just pick this piece up and put it down. That gets us there quicker. And what I want to do is we're going to build this section out over here. And so I'm going to put this 3x6 down with the door facing towards the palace. And then another 3x3. And we'll put the windows facing out like that. And then we'll put another 3x3 over here like this. And I think I want it with the door on that side. And I'm going to put this one up here with the door on this side. And another 3x3 over here. And this one, let's put it with the door out on top like that. And then like that. So that looks pretty good. And we'll cover up some of these windows here. Or doors, rather. So we'll put that one there like that. And then another one up here to fill this empty space. That side is fine. I'm going to pick that 3x3 up and put it down. We'll put another one over here with the door facing out like that. And that looks pretty good. And since we need a way to get up there, we'll put that staircase in and then a circular one over here like that. And a couple of blocks underneath to support it. Like that. And to kind of cover up that gap a little bit, I'll add a market stall. We'll do the fruit one. And some pots next to it. And let's put some stalls over here on the other side of the street, like that. So now we got kind of a little market cubby hole over here. And I like that. And let's go ahead and pick these stairs up. And put them down because we need another set of stairs over here to get up to that door. Okay. And with that, I think all of the buildings are in. That looks good. Okay, now we have these flat edges out here on the side. And it's really noticeable when you're going up this side of the town because it's kind of narrow. And so to help finish this a little bit, and I've got the memory for it, so I'm going to put down some terrain pieces, and I'm going to put this massive rounded cliff over here. To save time, I've already set the terrain theme to be the Agrabah Sands of Time from the power disk. I'm going to put that as close as I can to the palace wall, and another one right around the corner here. We'll tuck it in just like that. And you can choose to put as many or as few of these down as you want, or you can skip it altogether if you're on a console that has less memory. But I kind of like the finishing edge, and I really want to do it. I've tried saving memory a little bit by putting this in here, or not putting this in here, and it just doesn't look as good, I don't think, in my opinion. So I kind of like having it, especially on this edge. Like I said, you're so close to the edge of the buildings there that this just really, really helps. There. I think that looks a lot better. This end, however, I am not going to put the finishing edge on it because I want to give the impression that the desert continues to head off in that direction. And actually that is exactly what's going to happen. And so to kind of show the player that they will eventually need to go into the desert and go off in that direction, I'm going to add in this little small bridge cliff. And I want to kind of line it up with the archway over there at the entrance to town. And I'm just going to stick that off by itself. And so that gives the impression that that actually goes somewhere. And later on we're going to stick a trigger area with a toy box door that will head off into the desert. And over on this end, we could go ahead and finish this off, and I think I'm going to. So I'm going to come back over to these pieces here, these large rounded cliffs, and we're going to go ahead and drop them down here as well, and kind of finish off this edge. We'll put two of these down, and then we'll put the smaller one in, and I'm just kind of mixing this up so it's not so repetitive. You want it to look finished, but you don't want it to look cookie cutter. And if you just put a whole big long row of these down, it would look okay, but I think it's better to break it up. I mean, this is nature, so it's not supposed to look repetitive. And we'll drop a smaller one around the corner here, like that. And one more piece of cliff. If I can get it to line up, there we go. And that finishes that off. So that adds a nice finishing edge to that side, and I like that. Another thing we can do for the terrain, and this is optional, but if you have the memory for it, this all looks really flat right now. And we can add a little bit of interest if we add in just a few sand dunes. And up under Building Sets Group 6, if you go to the right, these sand dunes are part of the core Agrabah building set, so you should be able to get them from the toy store. And in order for this to be believable, we want to make sure that they're all oriented about the same way, because the wind's going to blow the same direction, so you don't want to spin these around different directions. And I think I'm going to set mine up like that with the wind blowing into town. And so we'll start over here on this end, and I want to put one out here. Well, let's put this one in first. I want to tuck one into the corner of town as close as I can get it. It's about like that. Maybe pull it back just a little bit. That covers up that terrain seam, and that adds a little bit of a edge over here to this little courtyard. So I like that. And then we'll put another one out over this way, cover up that seam a little bit. And another one over here will help cover up that seam a little. And probably want to put it closer to the edge out here. Then we'll put one more over here, like this. And I don't want it to be too lined up, so maybe I'll pull this one in a little bit. and then one more over here. And you don't need a lot of them. You just want to make it so that when the player's standing down here, it doesn't look completely flat. It kind of hides the fact that you've got this flat edge over here a little bit, and it makes the desert look like it's going off into the distance. So that's good. And just a few more little things. Some plants would be good. You don't want a lot of them, but you do need a few. So I'm going to put down over here next to the archway in front of town one of those, and we'll customize it for the Aladdin palms. And I like that. And let's go ahead and turn that so those little bushes are facing out. And then one more on the other side kind of frames that in nicely, and we'll turn that so it's not quite so repetitive. So that's good. And we're going to put one in over here next to the water. It would kind of make sense that there would be one there. And then we'll add one over here on the corner because we need something out here. It's a little plain sitting out here by itself, but without it, I think it just looks a little empty out here. So that's good. Put another one over here in this corner and cover up that little terrain seam there maybe. And again, it's the desert, so you don't want too many of these, but you need some of them. And I think I could put this one here. I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to put this one like this. And I'm going to turn that little terrain block. We'll put it with a little window facing out instead. I like that a little better. So that looks good. And then over here, we have the other archway on this end. We should put some building or some plants out over here. And for something a little bit different, let's use this one. So I'm going to put one here. Oops. And one over here. And actually, I'm going to move it in just a little bit closer to the room because I plan to put a horse race around here. And I want to make sure I leave room for that. And these are a little bit different looking palm. I think looks pretty good though. There we are. So that looks a little bit different than those. And I think that kind of helps distinguish the door a little bit, the archway leading in. And let's see, last thing we're going to need is a few rail slides to connect some of these areas. So let's come back up to the platforming toys drawer, and we're going to add in one of these, and I'm going to place this, let's see, I think that's probably, I had it before over here, so let's keep it the same. And we'll style this for the Agrabah ramp rail. That way you can get from there to there without having to come down the stairs and run around over to those other stairs. So that's good. And another rail that we've got is over here. And I'm going to put this one down, let's see, about like that. So that's good. And I'm just kind of reviewing my screenshots here because there's several of these we need. Not too many though. And I'm going to put one of these down off the top of this building because we have to have a way to get over here if we're going to have that rail slide. So we'll do that and then flip this around. And I already set that to be my theme on that piece, so that's why that's already styled. I'll do the same thing for this little one. And again, we don't need a lot of these, but we just need to make sure we can get everywhere we need to go. And I think that's just about all of them. There's really no reason to get up on this building. Actually, though, we can... I've got a trampoline I put down before. Oops. So let's go ahead and add that. Just kind of reviewing all of my screenshots to make sure there was no little details I missed. And this is one that I just saw that I missed. So that trampoline will allow you to get up on top of that building. Something a little bit different than a rail slide. Actually, let's go ahead and center that. That way you can jump up on the corner of this if you need to. And let's see. All the rest of these look pretty good. We've got, we're missing a rail slide over here. Let's see. Not the left rail. There we go. Bending rail. I'll make sure we can get up to this one. There we are. And I think that's everything. Yeah, that looks really good. So with that, the build exercise for my Agrabah toy box is done. I really like how it turned out. There's so many places to go and lots of little hidden areas to find and explore. It's a fun toy box to play in. Now we need some things to do, and so next time we'll start working on the interactive parts of this toy box, beginning with the economy system that lets us earn money and spend it in a shop. I know many of you have been eagerly waiting for that tutorial, so be sure to join me on Monday for that. Meanwhile, thank you for watching, and thank you to all of my subscribers for your comments and feedback. If you're not a subscriber yet, just click my photo in the lower right corner of this video, or the follow button on my blog, and that way you won't miss a single video. Take care.